Welcome to the next edition of Painting the Painting Show. I'm painting a picture of this based off of this tiny little image of Mozart on my phone. It doesn't need to be Mozart though, I have other people in mind. I just wanted to draw, paint a face in an abstract landscape in a form and not have too much expectations or anything, just keep it really crazy and loose. I saw a video on Instagram of someone saying that they were taught to paint with a large brush to start out, and I tried it a little bit with this, and it actually is really cool. It kind of makes a really loose version of what you're trying to do, and gets a lot of paint on the surface before you even get too involved. So it's a cool idea. So I tried it a little bit. I don't have that big of a brush, but it's interesting to try. I made this painting thing. I can't remember what it's called. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Back to the show. So we have Mozart slowly appearing on the canvas. I think it's okay to let a little bit of comic relief into the painting show, where it's okay to laugh at myself, and hopefully you're laughing too, but not too much. I've been lately just destroyed by some of these memes of JD Vance on the internet, and I almost wanted to paint JD Vance, but then I decided against it. Not to go across any grain or anything, I don't think, but to just, I get kind of fed up with doom scrolling and trying to maintain awareness of what I'm paying attention to, what I bring to the world, what my attention is. So, just avoiding doing too much meme stuff, I guess. Also on my mind lately has been a lot of Freudian, or I'm sorry, Carl, a lot of Carl. Just a lot of Carl. I keep wanting to say Karl Marx. It's not Karl Marx. Obviously, I'm very distracted by this process. I just can't bring some things to mind right now. Carl Jung, I'm sorry. Kind of want to put a little bit of Jung look on this. see any Carl Jung in the face? Interesting. Oh my god. I love painting though. It's fun. Mozart had a very childish looking face, and I think he actually was childish in his temperament. According to a commercial of a Mozart movie that I saw when I was 10 years old. So maybe not. I could be wrong. Wouldn't that be the thing to say? On a more serious note, life is full of tragedy and struggle. We're all trying to deal with it. Honestly, painting is somewhat even just painting some random face. It carries all that weight. Anything you do as an artist, you carry along the baggage and transfer it to other people's eyeballs. Even though you don't intend to, and even though you hope to avoid it sometimes. I'm going to switch brushes, do something, have a wetter brush. It's just this acrylic. I'm realizing after watching internet videos that the acrylic paint, it just dries so fast that you don't have time to blend anything. I'm thinking I should have learned more about oil paint, but this is all the paint I have for now, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And yeah. Hopefully you can see that. I'm planning on doing a little bit more of a line drawing on top of it, maybe. Or maybe I should not plan on that, I don't know. But one thing I was thinking of writing on it was if you have no plan, you're someone else's plan. It's kind of a play off of Carl Jung's saying, if the path ahead of you looks clear, it's probably someone else's. It's a quote of Carl Jung's that I posted earlier. I get advertised a lot of his quotes. Probably because I'm liking a lot of them, but the reason I'm liking a lot of them is because they actually are really ingenious thoughts that it really perplexes me how some people just sit there and they think. They just think about stuff and then they write it down, and through that process they bring about more thoughts. And it's not necessarily something that I don't do or everyone doesn't do. It just seems like he really got somewhere with his thinking processes, which I admire that. I try to avoid doing too much thinking though. try to do just enough, you know. Listening to Aphex Twin on YouTube. I was trying to listen to some things on Spotify earlier, and it was just, I couldn't handle the commercials. That I'm not gonna pay for any streaming service at this time. You know, wait till I make more money. But I've been saying that for a long time. So YouTube doesn't have commercials apparently. Kind of nice. Or maybe it does and I just haven't been paying attention to it. There's one thing I thought of that was something my dad had written down on several, like, he used to write things on pieces of plywood and stuff that he was working on. And one thing he wrote was, temptation is as much the urge to do good as it is to do wrong. And I kind of thought of that a little bit before I started this painting. In a way of, I never really understood exactly what it meant, but something to the tune of, it makes me think of the quote, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." If you know what I mean. But I have a thought process going about what that quote actually means. And in understanding of something, it helps to think about what the opposite of that something is. And so if you want to pave a road to hell, basically anything you attempt to do, because I have the view that, and this is coming from probably the Christian belief, that mankind is inherently a corrupt being, and no matter how good your intentions are, you're still just a human being on the earth, and you are susceptible to all the faults that there are for a human being. So to understand the quote, you would ask the question, so if the road to hell is paved in good intentions, what would the road to heaven be paved with? Because obviously the thinking of it is that the opposite of hell would be heaven, of course. Even if you don't believe in it, I'm just saying it's the word heaven or the concept of heaven. So I think that, and I've talked about this before with different people, is that the road to heaven, that the road to hell must be paved with bad intentions. And what I mean when I say that is that it takes, and Carl Jung would probably agree with me, it takes falling into the dark side of your life or human condition to understand how you've in effect sinned or done wrong and corrected yourself. That's how saints actually form. Every saint has had a history, it is said. Every saint has a history. I like that one a lot. know about this purple color too much. I'll just add it to the side of his face here. Now I gotta get it to look a little bit more like Carl Jung. Carl Jung had like a pointer nose. He always had glasses. In all the pictures I've seen anyway. And then I wanted to also add Beethoven to and Shakespeare. I want it to look like Shakespeare too. So I'm gonna have to get some darker hair. It doesn't have to be purple, I'm just putting it in the paint. It doesn't matter that it's purple. And then I suddenly just thought of, what if I drew a horse back here? Anything but a building. Buildings are so hard for me. I don't know why. They have like these big surfaces and lots of straight lines, and I just like the human form. Like Michelangelo said that you can't understand architecture without understanding the human form, which I found to be really cool, really interesting. I'm pretty sure Michelangelo said that anyway. You might want to check that one, check it out. But yeah, I think this painting it's going somewhere. It's just like, who is that guy? It's not someone I wanted to paint, actually. It doesn't look like, maybe it's starting to look good. I want to kind of abstract his face now. See, on my color palette here, I've run out of colors. I've used them all. They're all dried up already, so I guess this is what it is for now. I want to get rid of some of that. And the horse, I don't want him to be so purple. Could it be a red one? It's March 11th, Tuesday. It's 9:52. And I've got this painting going. It's been fun. Hope everyone has a wonderful week and even a better next week. So ta-ta for now. Go out and enjoy the summer. It's a short life that we live. So go out there, enjoy it. Easy for me to say. I couldn't even get myself to go on a walk today. I was tired after work. There's the results so far. Looking pretty artistic.